All of the last three movies that form the new continuity each pick a heavy topic that the deadite haunting is basically a metaphor for. But then a lot of the time, if you criticize the execution of that, the answer is, well, it's just fun body horror. What you expect? Like that's how these movies are. It seems a bit like these movies are trying to have their cake and eat it too, right? They're trying to have it both ways. I'm not sure that worked in this case. I think it takes itself too seriously for that excuse to work, right? Especially because the old Evil Dead movies are like this, right? The old Evil Dead movies are basically somebody finds a Necronomicon, summons the demons start messing with people and trying to kill them. And there, it's not really about anything more than let's try to survive these hauntings. But the new ones are different. Like the new ones are trying to do more, considering how much runtime is spent on random episodes of like mutilations and so on. That does not directly tie into the theme. I have to wonder, does this work?
Or something like this. When is like some of these topics okay to just be kind of set up and like a canvas to kind of sort of paint the body horror stuff over it? Because like just because we have a little bit more of a like complex theme and narrative that's kind of been woven into the story, it doesn't mean that it's the movie's kind of goal to like, you know, fully explore it and sort of be like the most, you know, complete or like complex version of that particular topic. You know, we complain about like, you know, movies like I think it's like Godzilla versus Kong, etc., where there's just kind of nothing going on in the story. And, you know, we say at least just give us a little bit, just like give me a little bit to kind of hold on to, and then you can kind of go and do your like other sort of fantastical stuff alongside it. And I think for me anyways, this is an example of a movie doing just enough in terms of like its kind of themes. The movie still kind of has to do what it's there to do, and it's the body horror stuff. And then maybe it's another debate of like, is it right or wrong to pick some of these sort of deeper topics for sort of movies like this? But it felt like I got more than enough, and I think in this conversation as well, it kind of allowed us to kind of touch on both the deadites and some of the sort of the gore that was in this, whilst also having like a brief discussion about sort of some of the themes and the topics, etc. Which I think job well done.
There are moments in this that I think tie into the theme quite well. I'm just asking, given that the movie is trying to be about this, isn't the body horror just filler? And if it's not filler, then how does it support the theme it's trying to talk about? And should it? Like, you're absolutely right that really bad action movies and horror movies are just running away from things or just action or just punching. And this is not just that, right? My thing is just, if a movie tries to do something, it's totally appropriate to ask, okay, does it do that well?